The three values you've said the Aussie Wire is going to be founded upon are truth, freedom, and hope. And I can get behind and say amen to prioritising all of those three things in the culture. And I think what we've seen over the last 3 years is, and this is, I guess, an agenda that I'm happy and proud to be part of in particular, is re-educating the Australian culture. Because I think the parliaments and those opportunistic, cynical politicians you've just described so well are actually a reflection of a majority of the Australian public who now very clearly value safety more than freedom. They've forgotten the value of freedom, the importance of freedom, the indispensability of freedom, and the foundation of freedom, that everything we've come to enjoy as prosperity in the West is predicated upon the battle for freedom that so many of our ancestors fought, even centuries before Australia was thought of. And that is something that I think is a massive need for us all to be talking about constantly until it seeps through culture. Hang on, freedom is actually more important than safety. Safety is nice, but freedom is essential. So
can I comment on that?
Yeah, please.
Can I just throw something in there? There was, during the COVID era, I was working with some Americans who had a podcast over there, and they were reaching out to me and asking me for my thoughts and my advice, because they were looking at what was happening in Melbourne and what I was doing about it, and they were inspired by that, and they wanted to understand more. And they asked me what they should do and what America should do in order to avoid finding themselves in a situation similar to what we were in Victoria, Australia. And my answer was very, very simple. I said, get back to your roots. In America, they have a constitution, a Bill of Rights, also the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. They also have the Federalist Papers, which are an extensive set of letters, and then also the Anti-Federalist Papers, where during the era when they were debating and arguing about what should and should not be in the Constitution, these incredibly intelligent, articulate, well-educated, hardworking men of integrity were writing letters to each other and to the public to argue the case for what they thought was the right way to go with the American Constitution. And in those roots of the American Constitution, there is phenomenal depth and absolutely brilliant political thought. Now, sadly, not all of it actually made it into the Constitution, and then since then, of course, we've seen America turn into what is pretty much a basket case now, which is why I was saying get back to your roots. But I'd give the same advice to Australians. We actually need to get back to our roots. Now, we actually are blessed, again, with what is actually a very well-written Constitution. Perfect? No, but it was very, very good. We do have a number of letters and explorations of the reasoning behind our Constitution and why it was written the way that it was. We also have 1,000 years of political history before the writing of our Constitution, going back to obviously well-known events such as the Magna Carta, etc., and understanding the people behind those events, what was done, what was written, what was said, and why they failed in certain ways, why they succeeded in other ways. There is an incredibly rich history there. And getting back to those roots and understanding the journey, the shoulders that we stand on to enjoy the freedoms that we enjoy today would, number one, cause us to value those freedoms a lot more, and would also educate us in how to stand up for those freedoms a lot better.